afternoon. Is everybody awake? What a gorgeous day. Is this fabulous? You have to bring some attention to that. So thank you for coming out. What a pleasure to have you here. I'm honored to get to be here to show some love to Voices of Unity because I love this program and love these kids and love Marshall White and his vision. I'm Melissa Montana from Star 88.3 Radio, and so I want to introduce you to a lot of really special people today that support this endeavor and support defending the gold. This is the year we're going to see another amazing thing happen right here in our states. So they're going to bring it back here. And how many of you are ready to support the Voices of Unity and see them bring home the gold? Yeah, let's see it happen again. I totally believe that's going to happen. So thank you again for coming out today, and you probably know, looking at your program, it's the 2012 World Choir Games in Cincinnati, Ohio this year in July, and it's the first time the games are going to be hosted right here in the United States. So we want to show up big, and we want to support our young people and make this happen for them. So some of the people that are going to be here to talk to you are going to let you know why they support what's going on here, and we want you to give them your participation in that and your support of them. I would like to invite our mayor, Mr. Tom Henry, forward. Let him give you a few words. So would you please make welcome Mayor Tom Henry. Mayor, would you please come? And I know as the mayor, you have a few things to say, and I know you're proud of our community, and you've got to be proud of our champions. Please.
Thank you. Thank you all very much. This is a great day for the city of Fort Wayne because once again, we're in a position, as she said, to bring home some gold. So thank you, Marshall. It is an honor to be here today celebrating the success of this dynamic group of young people. The city of Fort Wayne does have many assets, and there are many great people in our community who are doing some great things. And again, the Voices of Unity under Marshall's direction makes the city very, very proud. This choir is an unbelievable group of young people. I've had the pleasure of listening to them on several occasions, and I hope all of you have had that experience as well. But they've really distinguished themselves as a positive force in our music community. Not just our city, and not just our state, but our entire country is proud of what you've been able to accomplish. While their musical talents is obvious, this program does more than just provide musical training for young people. It's also helping them build character. And I know that's something that Marshall and I have talked about on numerous occasions. It's more than just singing. It's building character and giving back to our community in a number of ways. They've really changed not only our community, but themselves as well. And I think that's really, at the end of the day, what it's all about. They're a great reflection of our city. Groups like this help make Fort Wayne the vibrant city that it is. That's why I encourage our citizens to support their efforts to go to the World Games in Cincinnati. With community support, Voices of Unity will be able to continue to represent our city and share the wonderful voices of Fort Wayne with the rest of the world. On behalf of the city of Fort Wayne, I want to thank all the choir members for being ambassadors for our city. I'd also like to say thank you again to Marshall White and his staff, along with the parents and the volunteers, because without them, this program would not be what it is. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And on behalf of our State Representative, Mr. Wynn Moses, we would love to hear from you, Mr. Moses. So please make him welcome, and I'm sure he's got a few words to share too.
We've never had a gold medal in Fort Wayne before from the National Olympics. We've had a number of silver medals and bronze medals, but Marshall White and the choir have done something unequaled in Fort Wayne history. They've brought us to national and global awards. They've shown that with the idea and the spirit and the hard work, you can make good things happen. I say that Marshall and I met a long time ago. His father has a church, some of you may know, on the south side, True Love Baptist. Jesse White, one of my favorite preachers, gave me advice a long time ago. How'd I meet Marshall? Well, I was talking with his father, and all of a sudden the music started out in the other room. It was beautiful music. And there was a choir singing. It was a beautiful choir. This is a long time ago, and we went out, and I don't know whether you remember, but he introduced me to you. You were playing. I thought, this is really unusual. I don't know where this is going to go. I never would have guessed that day in and day out he would have gotten better. Playing, talking to people, working, putting together programs. And one day he came and he said, I got this idea. He says, I want to form a choir that'll compete internationally. He says, the Unity Choir. And he got a lot of us on boards, and he got a lot of us to contribute, and we knew it was going to turn out well. But we had no idea that when he got done, staying up all day and all night working on these things, that he would have all these parents together, that he'd had all these kids together. He'd even have the support, why he even have the support of his wife, who's sitting back here too. Thank goodness. And they ended up not in Indianapolis, not in Chicago, which is a big deal for us to go and compete. He ended up in China, halfway around the world. He didn't have local support there. He brought it with him. And they came and they said, we're going to do our best. And they were heroes over there. Many have called and said, what a great job you did. You give us inspiration. I mean, you are really the Horatio Alger of music. I know we all think Chuck Surbeck here is the Horatio Alger of music in many ways, but in a much different way. You give us hope that things can be done, that things can be done well. We're very proud of you. But you know, when you win, then you got another responsibility. And that responsibility is not just to walk away, say that was fun, especially a leader like Marshall White. He wants to show that Fort Wayne and Unity are the best. And we as a city, if we're going to support good things, and we do, if we believe in Fort Wayne, have a responsibility, and that is to help repeat, to help go back, help to win that gold medal again. We don't have to travel to China this time. We can just go down the highway, a couple hours, and we can all be there. And I hope that many thousands come from the city of Fort Wayne to support this, because this is, again, one of our biggest chances ever to have this is our only chance to have a second gold medal. We're very proud of you and the choir that you've developed, and all the young men and women, and as the mayor nicely said, of all the parents. We know what troubles and tribulations this causes. You've made us very proud. I just appreciate being part of Fort Wayne with people like you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Moses. We appreciate that. And the list is long here. We have a lot of people that support our community. And talking about music and going worldwide and international, there's another representative here that represents music. That's Sweetwater Sound. I mean, if you know anything about music, you know Sweetwater is it. And in our world in radio, we talk with a lot of artists. Everybody buys their music and their equipment from Sweetwater. I would like to introduce Mr. Sweetwater, Mr. Chuck Surak. He's got a presentation to make. So, Chuck, thank you so much.
Thank you, and good afternoon, everybody. Winfield, I go back almost as far as you do also with Marshall. I went to that same church. Marshall and I have talked about this many times through the years. And I remember going in my Volkswagen bus, taking a brand new state-of-the-art synthesizer to show Marshall. And from that point, we were friends there ever after. And what I come to love about Marshall and everything he's been involved with, there's one way to do it, and I believe in the same way. You're going to do it right. And his level of excellence that he expects and he believes in is what challenges everybody, what encourages everybody, and frankly, what took him to the World Games and made him win the World Games. Nothing makes me happier than to support this program. It's just been amazing to watch the growth of the young people. I remember clearly several years ago when I was on the board, we talked about the first student going to college, and no other UPAF student had been to college, and their parents hadn't been to college, and it has to be over 100 students by now, Marshall, pretty close to it. And it's much more than the singing, as you heard earlier. It's about the growth and the discipline and just making great young men and young women of our community and leaders, and they're becoming leaders all over the country. We have UPAF alumni already that are playing professionally in major stages with the best artists of the world. And I can't think of a better organization to support, and I want to show you how I want to support it, Marshall. Come on up. On behalf of my wife, myself, and all our friends at Sweetwater, we want to make sure that we go off in a big bang. And I want to challenge all the other businesses and other organizations in this community to support. If it's $5, if it's $50, or if it's $50,000. So I would challenge everybody in the community, whatever you can give, let's get them to Cincinnati. Let's watch them win again. Thank you, Marshall. Thank you, kids.
Woo! I don't know, that makes me a little bit emotional, just a little bit exciting. I just want to go, can I get a witness in this place, you know? Because I think there's some people here that can give me a witness on that. You know what I'm saying? Amen. I don't want to downplay that. I want to lift that up and bless it. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's a blessing. Well, of course, we've got a lot of friends here that we want to bring to the table. Mr. Don Schenkel, he's been all over this community and doing business for years. A lot of people know him as a businessman that has had an imprint on this community and has really touched a lot of lives from his business expertise. And he's with the University of St. Francis right now. So would you please make welcome Mr. Don Schenkel.
Melissa, thanks for those great comments, and I have to reminisce a little bit, Marshall. I've never followed a mayor and a past mayor who are excellent speakers, but I go back. I'm the same vintage, a little bit older than Mayor Moses, to your father. And I remember talking to Marshall years ago when I first met him. He said, I'm not a preacher. But after he talked to this business forum I'm in, I said, yes, you are. And then one day he asked me if I'd like to see behind the curtains because I so much admired what he was doing. And what he meant by that, he wanted to share his dream with what he's doing. And what he's doing for these students in town, the young people, is providing leadership and instilling self-confidence and self-esteem with them. And that is so crucial for this community, producing future leaders. So I, as a member of the past member of the business community or existing, Chuck, my gosh, what can we say, Chuck? My heart was beating so fast with this. And my purpose here was to really talk to the business community and ask them to support this because, you know, every day the paper's filled with everything the youth in this country are doing wrong. But what about the publicity that we should be giving to the youth of this city and the difference that this city makes? And it's really because of a guy like Marshall that has poured his heart and soul, and I don't think a better gift you can give to anybody but to instill self-confidence and self-esteem. So Marshall, I thank you on behalf of the business community of the city of Fort Wayne, everything you're doing, and I'll do everything I can to help double, triple, whatever we need to do with Chuck's graciousness, and I thank him for everything he's done for this community. Thank you all.
Thanks, Don. Another big part of this is that people have been hearing about Fort Wayne because of Voices of Unity. We kind of put this on the map a little bit more because of what's been going on. You know, the world's finding out about Voices of Unity, and now they're going, Fort Wayne, what is that all about? So kind of cool. So I can think that the visitors department, the visitors office and visitors bureaus got to be loving this. So Dan O'Connell probably has a word to say about loving the connection and the business that this has generated and the excitement. So would you make welcome Mr. Dan O'Connell?
Absolutely. We're very proud of what the choir has brought in terms of image, reputation, and awareness of Fort Wayne. We try to promote it every day at Visit Fort Wayne. And we were glad years ago to help provide to the choir this particular outfit to wear, this warm-up suit, so that they not only sounded good when they're traveling the world, but they looked good. And we heard a lot of positive feedback from the kids of other choirs wanting to trade merchandise with them, and they held on to it because they knew this was going to be a souvenir that they could cherish their whole life. They personally invested in it. And we're happy to announce we're going to repeat that same process when they compete in Cincinnati. Not only will they sound good, but they're going to look good, and they're going to be promoting Fort Wayne once again, because on the back it says right on the back, Fort Wayne, Indiana, USA. Now, Wendy and Marshall are going to be picking out the outfits with their assistance of their parents, and we're going to let all that happen for them. But it's a great way for our community to say not only thank you, we're proud of you, but go out there and defend the gold.
Lots of support from a lot of different people. It really takes a lot of us working together. Look around the room and you see all these people that are giving and giving their time. The Renaissance YMCA, I know that this is a location that is giving to the Voices of Unity. So Tabitha, I'd like to introduce you and bring you up, Tabitha Durham, and give you a chance to have a word to say, because I think you have a little input here and you believe in this organization. So would you make welcome Miss Tabitha Durham?
Well, hello there. I'm actually a very, very, very proud supporter and partner with the Unity Performing Arts Foundation. We actually house the one and only exclusive arts academy right there at the Renaissance Point Family YMCA. The Y is for youth development, healthy living, and social responsibility. And the tagline that Unity has right here on this banner, developing tomorrow's leaders with integrity, is completely 100% what we do at the YMCA. I am very proud and thankful that we have like-minded partners such as Unity Performing Arts and Marshall White here in our community, and I'm also excited to be on the Defend the Gold Task Force. So I'm excited about what we can do here in our Fort Wayne community and around the world. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, Miss Tabitha. Now, you can talk about the Voices of Unity, you can tell the story, but when you hear it from the members themselves, there's something unique and heartfelt about that. So first I'm going to bring up Diane, if you would come up, because you're a parent. Diane Richardson, would you please come up? Make Diane welcome. She's in the midst of this. She's a parent. She gets it. She's been living and breathing it.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for being here today. I am a very, very proud parent of the Voices of Unity Youth Choir. I've known Marshall for not as long as some of you that are here today, but for the last couple years, our family's gotten to know him and what he represents. And it's excellence and nothing less. And our family has learned that firsthand with him. He teaches these children amazing things about themselves and parents about ourselves that we didn't even realize. So it's been an incredible journey. And I would like to share with you our experience traveling to China. First of all, we didn't know that was on the agenda that year, but it came. And it was an incredible, incredible journey. One of the memories that stands out to me is how well received we were by the Chinese people and the other countries and people that were representative there. It was incredible. And also, I'm sorry. And the interaction between the children from the other countries in the world was incredible. Even though there was language barriers and cultural differences, those children came together in a mighty and powerful way. Once the singing began, when they were able to interact, all of that was removed, and they were able to communicate and just have a wonderful time together, and the experience was out of this world. So thank you for being here, and have a wonderful day. Thank you.
I'm sure every parent has a feeling and a story about their kids being involved in that. We could probably be here all day with precious stories like that. I want to bring Davin and Olivia up here together, and then you guys can tell your story. These are two young people here, members of the Voices of Unity, Davin Johnson and Olivia Croxton. And I want you guys to share your story. Just give us something brief about how you feel and what this meant to you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Davin Johnson. I am a 16-year-old sophomore at Horizon Christian Academy. I have been in the choir for 6 years. We've had many different experiences, but I say this would have to be the most heartfelt. Unity. At the very end of the award ceremony, there was a champion concert, and one of the Hong Kong choirs was forgotten. So at the very end of the concert, they were left, and we were the only one there, but we were hungry, and we still had stayed there, and we sat there, and we got on stage, and they made them stop tearing it down, and we sat there and listened to them kids with their tears and singing out of their hearts, and we sat there and filled them with love and joy and told them that We were there for them, so we brought unity not only from Fort Wayne, but we brought it around the world.
Good afternoon. My name is Olivia Croxton. I'm 13 years old. I'm in the 7th grade, and this is my 4th year with Voices of Unity. Being a part of the choir is already amazing as it is, but going halfway around the world with them and staying with them was amazing. I'd have to say, when I first got there, I was terrified. I didn't think I was going to fit in, even though I was only there for a little while. We got to experience a lot of cultures besides just the Chinese culture. There was Venezuela, all of those people. And when we were there for the first practice with everyone, I remember sitting with people from Wales, and they spoke a different language and also English. And they said that we had the most amazing accent ever, but I didn't hear an accent ever. And even though the practices were hard, we were hungry, it was amazing. Like, I don't think I'll ever get to have something as good as that was. And I'm very excited for Cincinnati.
Great job, you guys. Davin and Olivia, thank you so much. I think when they get here, we'll make sure they get more food, okay? Somebody bring some snacks. We'll take care of them. It's easier when you're in your own country, I think, probably. Well, this is that moment where you have to give credit where credit's due. And I'm a little emotional about it, too, because Marshall and I go way back. He's my brother. He's my friend. We've talked years ago about the future of these young people and getting to serve and to serve them. He's a servant. He's the one that's had this vision. We're all standing in this room today or sitting in this room because somebody didn't take no for an answer. I love that about this man. I love that. No is not an answer. Just let's do it. Let's go to the top. Let's make it happen. That's Marshall White. And he doesn't do it for his own glory. He does it because he believes in these kids and he wants to make an impact on lives for generations to come. Would you please make welcome with love and support as a Fort Wayne community, our very own Mr. Marshall White.
God bless you. Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your support and encouragement. Yes, no is an answer. It happens to mean what? Next. It means next. It doesn't mean never. I teach the children, no does not mean never, it means next. So you have to be relentless in something that you believe in, and that's something that I have learned over the years, and I think I've also received that from my father as well, and Wynn would know that, and the rest of you guys who knew my father. I want to say first that I am forever indebted to Chuck Chirac for his true friendship and his business mentorship, his visionary influence in my life, and its munificence that he has shown here, not only just through finances, but Chuck has been a moral and encouraging support for me down through the years. And Chuck doesn't just give money to Unity, he comes to concerts, he comes to the events, he supports the kids, he talks about the kids, he shares with the kids, he even allows the kids to come and work as interns at his company. He's more than just a supporter financially. He is a part of our family, the Unity Performing Arts family, and we love you so much and thank you for your support. And I think all of the Unity singers here and the parents would join me in giving him a great hand. I just want to say that the World Choir Games have taken our organization to another level, has given us a different platform to pursue, and I just want to encourage everyone that's from Fort Wayne, July the 4th through the 14th, please make some provisions to go. If you do go make sure you make the first day, the opening ceremony and the parade. You will see countries from all over the world in this huge parade, and then they will all reside at the arena in Cincinnati, and the Cincinnati Symphony Orchestra will take a big bang to open up the World Choir Games, and then they will have fireworks. You definitely would like to go to that. And if you need information, go to the World Choir Games website, and they'll give you all the information you need. What does this opportunity do for our community? What does it do for our children? It extends and increases the visibility in our city to cities and countries and to people all over the world. It draws attention to Fort Wayne. It gives our kids a sense of excellence and exposure. It enhances them. It gives them a sense of education. It gives them the will and the power to be able to say, I can do anything. And that type of encouragement is what makes great men and women. Chuck will say that, and I will say this, and all of you have achieved great things, that it was someone who gave us an opportunity. Somebody said, you can do it. Somebody came behind you and supported you. I don't care if it was in a check or a pat on the back or even just spending a moment with you, encouraging you, telling you you can do it. That's what this type of opportunity does. A lot of people say, well, why would you raise money to take kids on a trip like this? Well, we're not raising money to take kids on a trip. We're raising money to invest in kids. If we invest in kids, we have to begin to see investment beyond our little microscope. And we have to be able to look at the bigger picture and see there are ways to invest in children today beyond the ways that we have done in the past. So this gives us a unique opportunity to encourage people in Fort Wayne. Here's another opportunity to give money to a cause that will not only help children, but it will empower children. And I want to share with you the international ratings were released in the World Choir Games, and here are the numbers. The top 50 choirs in jazz, gospel, and pop. In the gospel and the pop category were the two choir categories we performed in, but the top 50 choirs in the World Choir Games in those categories, the Voices of Unity is number 7. Out of the top 1,000 choirs in the World Choir Game, internationally, 1,000 choirs, the Voices of Unity rank at number 40. That's amazing. That is really amazing. So we have an opportunity. And you guys would join me in saying the Voices of Unity is an indisputable reflection of Fort Wayne. They are the epitome of this community. This community is a diverse, and this community is a plethora of different cultures. And the Voices of Unity actually reflect that. And I just want to give you some demographics so that you can understand that there's so many sometimes statements made about the choir that I want to try to correct and give you some clarity. The clarity is that this group of kids represent 35 churches in Fort Wayne, 17 denominations. They, in the educational realm, represent 47 schools, 8 school districts, 4 districts that are local, and with the Fort Wayne Community Schools being the highest, and then 4 school districts out of the city. Private schools, parochial schools, charter schools, home school, all represented in the Voices of Unity. These kids are located in 19 zip codes. 4 of those zip codes are from out of town. The family income ranged from $25,000 or less to $100,000 plus in the Voices of Unity. The ethnicity background ranges. 56% is African American, 18% is biracial, 16% is Caucasian, 11% is Hispanic. The family status, we have 61 families represented. 51% of those families live with both parents. 2% of those families live with one father, 13% live with guardians, 33% live with a mother, and 1% live with mother and stepfather. There are 54 mothers and 37 fathers and 6 guardians represented in the Voices of Unity. In gender, 40% of the program are males, 60% are females, 40% males. That's unbelievable, because boys don't really like choir. They would rather be playing sports. 40%. And gender type, 59% are children, 12 and under, 40% are teens, 13 and up to 19, and one 21-year-old young adult. The ages range from 15 years old of age. The youngest, there are 15 age levels represented. 15 age levels represented in the choir. The youngest being 6 and the oldest being 21. Over 90 of our students have entered into college in 48 colleges across the country. 18 have graduated from college and 6 right now are in grad school. One of our students today from college is sitting in our presence from Northwestern University. He's visiting on a spring break, and I asked him to come. He's a member of the Unity Performing Arts Alumni Association, and I want him to represent himself by sharing with you what this organization has done to get him started. Again, I want to say to the mayor, to all of you that have come today, Mayor Moses, not Mayor Moses, but Mayor Tom Henry and State Representative Moses, he was actually mayor back in the 80s. I want to thank you guys for coming, and Dan for speaking on our behalf as well, and Don Schinkel. This is a very good jolt of encouragement, and I thank you guys for being behind, not me, but behind these children, because they will never forget this. And they will always come back to Fort Wayne with a vengeance to invest back into this city. Thank you so much. Tyrus Jones.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Tyrus Jones, and I'm a senior social policy major at Northwestern University, and I'm a very proud member of the Voices of Unity Youth Choir. I was asked to come here today to talk about my journey from high school to college and how UPath prepared me for that. And when I was thinking of what I could compare it to, I look at UPath as a sort of boot camp. So when you get ready to go into the armed, services, they send you off to boot camp to get prepared for the challenges that you'll face overseas or even, in your own area. And the Voices of Unity really took me from a child, a 12-year-old middle schooler, to a 22-year-old almost man. not quite there yet. And they did it in a few different ways. Passion, focus, discipline, integrity, determination, consistency, foresight, the ability to change, and the courage to win. By teaching me that I should reach back to give back, and by setting a standard of excellence and nothing less. If you've been around the choir, you've been around Mr. White, you've been around the countless mentors that are sitting in the audience, then you know that it's excellence and nothing less. We're taught that 99.9% of us will succeed, and the 1% is the empty chair. Through this type of training, after completing it and being shipped off to college to go fight, I was the president of our freshman advisory board, and I helped to fight against administrators who only enlisted and enrolled 81 black freshmen out of a class of 2,000. I started a group called the Chicago Area Mentorship Program that sought to bring minority and low-income students from the Chicago area to Northwestern to experience campus life and to be around that atmosphere. I held the highest student ranking position as the speaker of the Associated Student Government. I went from a walk-on linebacker that wasn't recruited to a scholarship running back, 3-year letter winner, and 2-time academic All-Big Ten. I'm the current coordinator of 4 members only, our Black Student Alliance. I was an intern for the Cook County Public Defender's Office, and this summer I'll be an intern in Human Resources for Nielsen. But I say all this because Mr. White and the Voices of Unity instilled in me that no definitely meant next. There was nothing that I couldn't accomplish. Mr. White never took me being tired from football or basketball practice as an excuse as to why I couldn't stand up in this 3-hour rehearsal. It was never an excuse. It was never an excuse as to why I couldn't perform, because I could do A, B, and C, and I would do them all with excellence and with that standard of excellence, and that carries on. Consistency and a killer work ethic and that courage, that will to win has driven me to places that I can't imagine. They've driven me to meetings with the Board of Trustees of Northwestern, to meetings with the movers and shakers of Chicago and the movers and shakers of Fort Wayne, Indiana that I didn't know were in Fort Wayne, Indiana. That was possible through my God, my parents, and my Voices of Unity. I needed this environment. I needed this platform. I needed this space. We as students, we as young adults, we need this space. We need more people like you. We need to defend this gold and bring it back to Fort Wayne for a second time. Thank you.
Tyrus, you are a fine young man. Brother, you got it going on. Bow down. Ooh, I'm impressed. That is something else. And by the way, any media here, you can do some interviews with the young people afterwards that are here. You might want to talk to that young man there. Wow, just so exciting to see that it works. You know, you want to know, what's the results? I mean, you won the gold. Does it work for life? It works. Tyrus just showed us the example in his life. So thank you for your support. We want to see more just like you, Tyrus. That's a blessing. Okay, we want to talk with the gentleman here. He's a board member. He's on our task force, too, and he's a leader. And, of course, he believes in what's going on here. Mr. Ben Van Order is going to share a few moments with us. So would you make welcome Mr. Ben Van Order?
Good afternoon. I still got chills. Anybody else? I told him not to make me look bad because he was going right before me, and guess what? Well, as a husband, a father of 2 young boys, and a business owner, I myself, as I'm sure many of you do, find myself very caught up in the busyness of life. And whether it's operating your own business or just trying to keep your kids from tearing themselves limb from limb, or striving to get a group of nearly 100 young people to sing in one accord and to live in one accord. We each have commitments that cause us to momentarily lose sight of what's important. One of the first orders of business that we as a task force undertook was developing a vision or a goal for exactly what it is we're setting out to do. And that vision reads as follows: to endow the Voices of Unity with every available resource so that they may participate and achieve at the highest level of their potential at the 2012 World Choir Games by creating community awareness and participation. This is a wonderful responsibility for us as well as for all of you. Our goal as a task force must be aligned with the city of Fort Wayne, and I staunchly believe that it is. We intend to empower these young people and support their efforts by dedicating our time, our treasures, and our talents so that theirs may shine once again on an international platform. While the needs are great, the expectations are very high, and the task daunting, it's important for us to remember that the Voices of Unity and Fort Wayne are very richly blessed with ability. Just last week, after our most recent task force meeting, I was asked by Marshall, and any of you who know Marshall will not be surprised by this story at all whatsoever. He asked me how I was doing. This is dangerous ground with this man. Well, he's easily the most positive person I know. He also has a way of drawing out of you exactly what is needed in any given moment to make you perform at the highest level, a level of excellence. Everyone keeps saying that's a recurring theme. Well, at the end of this particular week, which is when we were meeting, I was particularly exhausted, and I made the unfortunate mistake of letting him know that instead of my typical resounding, "I'm excellent." Marshall immediately looked at me very seriously and repeated words that my own father had said to me almost every single day before I left the house. "To whom much is given, much is required." I'm sure many of you have heard that easily hundreds of times in your lives. I believe that Fort Wayne has been given an awesome opportunity to once again support a group of hopeful young people on their quest to defend the gold. On behalf of Unity Performing Arts Foundation and the task force, I implore each of you to help us achieve our vision. Whether financially, with your tangible efforts, or just simply by prayer, we ask that you commit to sending these kids to Cincinnati to represent us in the highest regard. As we look towards our goal of raising a fairly insurmountable amount of money, it's very evident to us that every gift is as important as the next. It will no doubt take the contributions of folks at every level to make our goals become a reality. Please go to www.upaf.com, and help us with your financial support. Finally, the Apostle Paul wrote to the church in Ephesus, challenging them to live a life worthy of the calling you've received. Personally, I believe that supporting these kids and this foundation is part of my calling. Ask yourself if it's part of your calling as well, as we strive to help the Voices of Unity defend the gold in Cincinnati this July. Thanks.
Beautiful, Mr. Ben. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming today. As you know, we've been given a gift. Our community has been given a gift of the Voices of Unity. It's a chance for us to partner together, not just observe, but to be in the game and to say, I'm in, I'm here, I support it. We already saw a big representation of that today, but we need the whole community to be a part of this and not to just say, hey, that's our kids. That's great. No. So those are my kids. We're in it together. Do whatever you can to spread the word, to make this known. We need to shout it from the rooftops because this is such a great blessing and a gift that God has given us. We can't just watch it. We have to water it. We have to participate. We have to be in the game. So get your gear on. Everybody ready to say game on? Yeah. Go big or go home. And if you want to take pictures, okay, we're going to take a group picture too. We're going to get everybody in here. Gentlemen, don't go yet. We want some pictures here, and if any of the media here wants some interviews, feel free to interview the kids here, the young people, and of course, Tyrus, I know he would love to be interviewed. He's got a word to say, but thank you again for your support. Yes, go to the website for your support and tell others. Let's spread the news. God bless you. Have a wonderful week, and let's go for the gold. Anybody ready? Go for the gold.